finish. Episode 12. This is
Episode 12. We are finishing season 1, guys.
Season finale.
Eric, season woo.
I mean, the fact that we did, how did we find enough to talk about for 12? Like, what?
Wait, can we talk about for a second that like we had to give in our bios the other day because they were doing a rollout for us. So this was a couple of weeks ago.
Our managers, right.
And so the people who are managing us wanted our bios. So they wrote this whole bio how we're old friends.
They said, Thea and Patricia have known each other for a
long time. Okay,
guys.
Like
define long.
We met on Instagram. Okay. I asked her because I watched and I said, oh, do you want a piece of jewelry or do you want to meet in person and have lunch? We met and had lunch, and that is how this podcast started.
Yeah, a lot of people found me during the Summer House. That's probably when you found me. I got 10,000 new followers during Summer House this season. And Patricia was one of my first, and she reached out to say, oh, I love your page, and would you like some jewelry? Like, basically, it was going to give me jewelry, and I could post it or whatever. And I was like, what? No one ever gives me free shit, ever. So I was like, yes.
Curse.
We got a couple of minutes, but we're okay.
Is that okay? We can just bleep that.
You can bleep it.
We can bleep that.
Free.
And by the way, Thea never curses. That's my job.
I do. You saw earlier. I was
but she is dressed for New Year's Eve, so why not? I mean, okay,
I dressed up because it was our last episode, and then Patricia dressed down.
I dressed like a funeral.
But it's so perfect because yin and yang.
Yeah, I know. But that's us, and this is how I dress, and I'm not like a big sequin person.
Do you know that I've always had?
But it looks beautiful on you.
Thank you. I've always had kind of a potty mouth, actually. It's having kids that has changed it for me. Like, I've tried not to swear around them, obviously.
Well, they're also at the age now that you
No,
really
my daughter is obsessed with swearing. She'll be like,
she'll love me.
And I'm like, oh my God, you're 7. She just tried. Like, when she gets mad, she'll be like, bah, bah, bah. And I'm like, oh, where did you even learn that?
She'll love me.
I told this morning, I go, I've always dreamed of having a beautiful 7-year-old daughter who curses like a sailor.
Yeah, well, she'll absolutely love me.
So, I try not. As a mom, I became better at swearing, not swearing as much, and a better driver. I was a horrible driver, and now I'm a better driver because I have kids behind me and I have to pay attention. So I feel like that's what parenthood does to you. It changes you.
Yeah, it really does.
All right, so we did 11 episodes. This is our 12. We just talked about how we met. Patricia reached out.
Right.
She said,
we're old friends.
I think it happened like this. I think actually you were saying to me, we were chatting on DM, and you said something about wanting to do a podcast. And I don't forget how you said it, but you said, would you be interested or something? Or I don't even know if you asked and I offered, but either way.
Right, you said, I want to do a podcast too.
Yeah, I said,
and I said,
great.
okay, well, let's meet for lunch and see if we like each other.
Right.
So we were literal strangers. We met at Brownstone Pancake Factory, which Thea had never been to, and it's like Eric, have you been there?
What is it? No, I've never been there.
Stop it.
It's Fort Lee, right?
They're out here now too. They're a chain of them. There's one in Fort Lee. There's one in whatever.
Edgewater.
They're Edgewater, and they're all out here now too. It's like the best place to take your kids, like in the whole world.
The food was so good. I have to Google that.
And it's not that expensive. It's like it's a diner, but it's like upscale, like milkshakes with,
expensive.
Am I allowed to swear yet or no? Close? Okay.
It's expensive.
There's a lot of stuff. It wasn't that expensive. Okay, I paid for lunch. It was not that expensive.
No, I know you paid. I was very glad you were paying because I was like, my husband's going to kill me if I come and spend this kind of money. That's how I know it's expensive.
I know. Well, we're just
I
such diabolical opposites. I'm like, this is a cheap meal.
Well, I have there's a guy who was my roommate. One of my roommates in college is an actor. He's a very famous Dominican actor. You probably don't know him, but in the Dominican Republic, they know him. And
Where'd you go to college again?
Marymount, Manhattan.
Okay.
And he just moved to Fort Lee. So I told him we have to have lunch. So I was going to suggest that place because I want to see him. I haven't seen him in
Your husband will get mad. Hopefully he'll pay.
He's not going to pay. I can already tell you.
Is he a working actor or is he a poor actor?
I mean, he's very working. Like I said, he's a celebrity in the Dominican Republic. A celebrity. He's done
so he can pay for lunch.
I don't think he will.
Can I swear yet? Okay, fuck that shit. He's paying for lunch.
But I'm the one who suggested it. So I feel like now that I suggested it, I should take him to lunch. No?
No.
My husband would not get mad if he knew who it was because I have not seen Manny since I graduated college, 1991.
And maybe he could come on our podcast.
Manny Perez, he can come on here. He actually just reached out to me because he was looking for a publicist. And I was saying my friend who represents Colin and Phaedra and all those people maybe could represent him, but I don't know what he needs a publicist for. But anyways, that restaurant was where he went. And then I said, should we take a little time to flesh this thing out? And then we both were like, let's just do it and see how it goes.
We were like, no, let's just do it. And
so I feel like it's evolved. Like, I think that we started the first episode, especially, we were just getting to know each other, getting to know our cadence. I think episode 2, we were both like, I don't know that this is going great. Like,
right. We actually
you
had
felt
some.
like it dragged.
Yeah, I did. I really did.
I monopolized.
Was that our 90-minute episode or no?
I think
Yes,
the third episode, the second one.
Because
Whatever it was, I was like, I fucking hate this and I'm not doing it anymore.
It was too much. It was an hour, 15 minutes, and it was by Eric's suggestion because he thought the first one.
Oh, and Thea texted me, we might not be good for each other. And I'm like, shut up.
So what happened was she called me on the way home from that episode and she said, I felt like you monopolized, which I 100% did because I have a deep fear of silence.
But I love that you own it. I love that you own it. But we've also gotten a balance now. Like,
right.
It took some time.
So that was after episode 1. And I said, you know what, maybe we're just not the right fit. And I don't want to like keep going on this because I'm the kind of person like you, very reliable. If I commit, I'm going to put my all.
Same.
I've always been that way. And I know you're the same way. So I didn't want to keep going if it was something that I wouldn't be good at or we wouldn't mesh. Because you just don't know with chemistry. You can't.
I think it worked. Eric, do you think it worked?
I love it. I love being here with you guys.
Aww. We're going to miss you next month.
So I feel like by episode 3 or 4, by episode 4, I feel like we got a complete rhythm. I feel like we didn't really, although a couple of my followers have objected and said, you interrupt me too much, which I think they're just reacting to the fact that they only just want to hear me because they love me. And I think yours probably feel the same that way. Like, why is that girl talking? We want to hear Patricia.
No, I don't. No, you know what? I don't. I think my followers actually enjoy you.
Really?
And I do. And I think that they enjoy me too. And I think that they just want it to be like, I don't know. I think they want it to be balanced,
Right.
But it's nothing's ever 50-50. It's, you know what? And my mother, very good advice she gave me in a marriage. She said, never let it be 50-50. You always have to be 40 and your husband has to be 60.
Really?
Yep.
That's an archaic.
No. You always want someone.
Do you think Stu is 60?
Yeah.
In what way? Just providing? Or because you've already
Providing.
said you talk
He
more
likes
than he
me
does.
more than I like him, like that kind of thing. Like I love him and he loves me, but he likes me more than I like him. No question. But sometimes,
I love it.
sometimes, it
I
goes
love
the
that for
opposite.
you.
Sometimes it goes the opposite way. And then he's like distant and I'm 60 and he's 40. You know what I mean? Like, but it should never, things 50-50, like my therapist says, nothing is ever fair.
We are 70-30. I'm 70, a strong 70. I might even go to 80. He's a good 30 to 20.
Oh, really?
I like him way more. I don't even know if he
Does he know how much he likes you? You like him?
I'm obsessed with him. He's tolerates me. I do all the talking. I do all the everything, as we've already discussed.
Right.
It's a 1950s
caretaking
marriage,
and you're
cleaning,
cooking, whatever. Right? I don't do anything.
appointments,
That's how you
everything.
know that it's 60-40. I do nothing.
Oh God, I do everything.
I do not. I spend money. That's what I do.
I spend as well. He works 8 to 8, so he's never home. So I do everything, and I'm raising the kids, and that's my job. So. But it's fine. I'm fine with it. It's my personality to take care of people. It's my personality to step in and do everything. When I had that kidney disease and I was taken out for a month, it was a nightmare. He had no idea what to do. He didn't know how to freaking butter a piece of bread. Like, it was bad. And I was like, wow, maybe I do too much. Like, this is bad. Like, how is my entire household, like, crumbling because I'm in bed? Like, this is not, I'm here. I can tell you what to do. But
did you have kids then, too?
Yes, my kids were like, this is 2 years ago. So my kids were like 5 and 7.
Is he good with your kids?
Autistic. He is great with them. He just doesn't, like I said, he doesn't know how to do anything around the house because I do it all. I do everything. He didn't know how to, like, I'm not going to say he didn't know how to wash a dish, but I'm going to say that he doesn't wash a dish. So it was bad. And he was just like completely lost. And I had to tell him every single thing to do. And I was like tired and sick and thinking I was dying. My kidneys were failing and it was bad. And I realized then, like, wow, it's too much. Like, you've got to include him in some stuff because, so we're 70. But there was a guy I dated when I was a development girl who approached me later in life when I was already with my husband, but we weren't married. and wanted to get back with me, and he would have been obsessed with me, and he was rich too. And I was like, okay. So I have this crossroads, and my husband and I were having problems. We were boyfriend, girlfriend, and we had moved to LA together, and it was not going well. And then in swoops this rich guy who was obsessed with me, who I would have died to have chosen me 10 years before, saying like, you
didn't like him.
You're it. He's like, you're it. I realized I made a huge mistake.
You liked your husband.
And my husband wasn't even into me right now. We weren't even a couple. We moved there together. We broke up like a week later. And I was like, so I said, okay, I'm going to go with you to Big Bear. He asked me to go to Big Bear, and he wanted to get back together with me, and I would have had to like, but me and my now husband were already broken up. It was no problem. I could just be with this guy who was obsessed with me. And I went on this trip to Big Bear, and I freaking made him turn around and drive me home. It was like a 4-hour drive, whatever Big Bear is from LA. And I couldn't even stay over. I was like, I am miserable.
Is that like Lake Tahoe, Big Bear?
It's what?
Lake Tahoe? Is that like ski
I'm
resort?
sorry, I said Big Bear. It's Mammoth.
Mammoth. Okay, all right.
So we drove from Mammoth to from LA to Mammoth, which is I think like a 4.5-hour drive.
I just didn't know where it was.
It's a long drive. And we get in his car, we go again, like my boyfriend and I had broken up anyway, so it was no problem to do this. And it was going to be a really fun, all expenses paid weekend. We got there, the first thing he did was wanted to buy me lingerie at like a expensive lingerie store. And I was like,
ew, ick.
Right, ick. But just goes to show you how much he likes me in all areas, which
yes,
I don't
understand
have that.
But ick.
I don't have that with the other one. So I'm saying, like, I was like, okay. I didn't end up doing that. But the point is, I was like, wow, this guy is like, this is going to be great. And it was like an hour that we were in the hotel room that I was like, what am I doing here? Like, get me out of here. And not only that, I couldn't even do the weekend. I was like, we were turning around, we're leaving. And there was nothing bad. We didn't get in a fight. I just suddenly realized, like, I cannot even spend a weekend with this person, no less, like.
So you went back to your
I made him drive me home.
70-30.
I'll never forget, because we were like 2 hours into the drive, and he just got out of the car for a few minutes. And I was like, what are you doing? He goes, I have to just realize that this means.
He's got a process.
Like, this is bad. This is bad. I'm like, no, this is bad. Like, you're amazing. Some girl's going to be very lucky, but I need to go right now. I cannot be here. So I guess I could have had that. And I was like, it wasn't that. It was nice to have him obsessed with me, and it was nice that he was very wealthy. But yeah, it wasn't there anymore. I was.
All right. So what do we want to tidy up in this?
All right. So that's it. We're just.
Do you want to go questions first? Do you want to go?
Yeah. So we were thinking about.
I need my readers to see the questions, because I'm the old lady.
Both Patricia and I have very dedicated following. We've spoken about before, followers that are very involved. I hear a lot of feedback about the podcast and getting a lot of, and so Patricia thought it would be fun or interesting or informative if she took a few questions from her followers and asked them to me on air, so that they could feel more involved, and also stuff that maybe people want to hear that
All
we
right,
haven't
I'm going to give you
addressed.
our first question that you're going to like, okay?
Okay.
So what is it like being around reality TV stars? I said this is for sure a Thea discussion.
Well, you've been around them too. We both
yes,
interacted.
I have.
It's not actually that great. I will tell you, reality stars versus celebrities, meaning like actors, reality stars are way more annoying. There's a big...
And more entitled.
More entitled, which is crazy, right? Like, you think like...
Because they're nobodies, and they think they're somebodies.
Dorinda
Sorry.
versus Julia Roberts. Let's just put those two right out there. Which one do you think would be more of a diva? Well, it's Dorinda, because I think that they, again, have such devoted fans who they interact with a lot. So it really pumps them up. There's people around them that are telling them how wonderful they are. They're making money for people around them.
But they have a false sense of who they are as well.
False sense. And the problem, I think, is that if someone huge that you were surrounded with, like when I worked for Mike Myers, who had a big ego, you kind of think, well, I mean, he has Austin Powers.
It. He's allowed to be, right?
Like, at the time when I worked for him, he was doing Austin Powers. It had just come out. So, okay, your ego is a little justified. But when Dorinda Medley is crazy behind the scenes, which she is, by the way. Love you, Dorinda, but you are mercurial. She was supposed to go to this event my friend was throwing before BravoCon, and it was they were paying her to be somewhere. They paid them up 10 to 50 grand to show up places, which is why it's funny when you're like, invite whoever. I'm like, do you have 10 grand? Well, you might, but I don't. So she just the last second canceled. I mean, this thing had been promoted. This thing had been.
I told you she lived in my building, right?
No, I didn't know that.
She lived in my building in the city.
Oh, did you ever talk to her?
And when she, no. And then
when Dorinda's nice, she's amazing.
I've taken the elevator with her. She's not there anymore. But a lot of people like Venus Williams lived in our building. And
wait, and the Upper East? Oh, you
on
don't,
the
you
Upper
don't
East Side. I don't tell anyone. But Midtown East. And then
because my cousin has a
Sandra
apartment.
Ramirez, the girl from Grey's Anatomy.
Off air, we're going to find out what this building is.
I will. I'll tell you.
Oh.
So, and
Patricia doesn't want me to know where she lives.
No, I'll tell you.
Noted.
I'll tell you. Don't worry. I'll definitely tell Eric. Okay, so the net is that reality stars can be a lot.
Because, yeah, and Dorinda, just to finish the Dorinda, is that she can be amazing. Like, she can be, but she's one of those people where one day, amazing, the next day, a nightmare. Like, I don't know if it's alcohol related, mood related, but she is like Jekyll and Hyde. And if you get her on a good day, she's amazing. And if you don't get her on a good day.
My nanny / housekeeper would take pictures of her. Like, my middle ones, my son and his wife, they lived in a building with Hugh Jackman, who was an amazing celebrity.
Right.
And,
so sweet, right.
And Yvette, who's my nanny housekeeper who helped raise my kids and now, still works for me and works for my kids. She's like part of my family. But like the celebrities, she is taking selfies with Hugh Jackman. She's this big Jamaican woman, and she's just larger than life and she's just great. And Dorinda was nice to her. Tinsley came. It was the season of Tinsley. They were all filming on our rooftop, and they were all in the elevators. And Yvette went up to the rooftop to go take pictures with them.
Oh, it's not the same building as my cousin because she did not have a rooftop.
Okay,
so
ready?
There you go.
Next, are you and Thea doing another season?
We hope. We'll see.
Let's hope, right?
Let's see if this one takes off. We haven't really promoted it. I mean, we've promoted it on our page, but it's kind of preaching to the choir. Like you guys will follow us anywhere. So now the test is, will we be able to attract a larger audience, which our managers are supposed to be in charge of that. So let's see how the rollout goes, if they can attract a bigger audience than just our Instagram followers. And in which case, and if more of our Instagram followers tuned in and all that, but we're just building this. I mean, we started from scratch, from nothing.
Yes.
You can't expect like day 2, 10,000 people tune in. Like we have to build this. So we have to see how this rollout goes and if this attracts anybody.
Right. So
we're not
hopefully it will.
Invest the time and money into a second season if there's no audience.
Of our long-term friendship, hopefully. So, okay.
You said you didn't want to be my friend, which, by the way, I did get a lot of messages about that comment.
Did you really?
Yes. When you said on the podcast that you didn't need any new friends, and my followers are like, oh, how could she not want to be your friend? You're so amazing.
We're coworkers.
You know how followers are, though.
Yes,
I know how rabid they get.
Yeah, but you know what? We are friends. We're just different kind of friends. It's very hard to do a podcast with someone and then become best friends. You can't do that. We have to keep up the boundaries so that we have shit to talk about.
No, 100%. And
all right, so then you're not going to like this next question.
Okay.
Okay. Are you ready?
No, I'm fine.
All right, I have to put my glasses on to read. Okay. Thea, where does she stand re Jews? What are her thoughts? Jews feel less safe everywhere. Hold on one second.
Yeah.
Continued. If I listen, I want to know this isn't someone who will turn on us Jews.
I mean, I think it's so valid and it's scary in this day and age because you just don't know. And I've already expressed on here that I'm left-leaning liberal. I'm very far left, very liberal. So I can understand the question. However, I know Patricia. I follow her page. I watch all of her, lives and all that stuff. So I don't think that she would do a podcast, or I would choose to do a podcast if I did not support Israel. So of course I support Israel. I am 100% an ally.
And by the way, that is what I told this follower who asked me.
Yeah.
But I wanted them to hear you say it because it's very different from me saying it.
Of course, right.
Like, of course Thea is, but I mean, honestly, guys, do you fucking think that I would hang out with anyone who's like an Israel, anti-Zionist? I mean, now, being Jewish is a very scary thing that's going on.
No, 100%.
It's literally like you don't know it unless you are. You can't imagine how it feels, but it's scary. And living in New York City under Mondami's range, it's very scary right now for Jews.
Anti-Semitism is slightly getting more normalized than it ever should be. There shouldn't even be an iota of normalization to anti-Semitism.
Okay, well, this is why they asked the question. I'm just going to read this to you, okay? She said, I love this question, and I want to add to it. This is a different follower.
Oh, right.
When you brought off October 7th, she seemed like she couldn't get on another topic fast enough. She seemed uncomfortable. I'm not sure if you felt that. And I wrote back to my person, I did not feel that, but I just know you, and I know that, like, that's my account. That's not your account. And, we also started talking about something that we actually deleted after. And you didn't want to go there. And I totally understood that. but I want my followers to know that you're not anti that at all. You know, that's not your stance.
Well, and it's not that I didn't want to go there in terms of Israel. I just didn't want to
Make it a political
offend or hurt
right.
people. I am very inclusive on my page, and as a person, I have people who love Trump on my page. I have people who love me who don't, and I don't ever want to alienate anyone. And what I love is discourse. And if someone comes to me and has some sort of like anti-Semitic thing, I don't want anything to do with them. That is not okay for me. I would never
anti anything.
Right.
It's like I have a gay son. You know what? If you're if you're homophobic, like don't fucking come hang around me, and expect me to be nice to you because it's just not going to happen.
I think I was worried too as a brand new venture. Actually, if you had brought that up today, I think I would have been way more receptive to it. As a brand new venture, just off the bat, alienating people that might think, okay, that these women are just going to be like dogmatic and preaching. And so I was just thinking about
by the way, I never want to be. And I never, this is episode 12 and I have never brought up any of this, but these were my questions.
No, I hear
So I'm like, you know what? I'm going to bring them up because I want my followers and our listeners to know that we're very inclusive of everybody and everything. Thea has a son who's on the spectrum. I have a son who's like, you know what I mean? Like everybody has something in their life that no one should be prejudiced against. Whether I'm Jewish and you're Italian or Eric, I don't even know what you are, but you know what I mean? But I'm just saying, Eric,
Scandinavian.
But I'm just saying, like, no one should ever like discriminate on someone just based on who they are. It's terrible.
Yeah, I just didn't. I remember for the election, I posted some stuff on my page. I never talk politics for that exact reason. And I felt actually very badly because a bunch of my followers reached out to me and they were like, I'm so hurt that you would post about this because now I feel like I'm not welcome on your page. And I really took that to heart because there's a fine line between standing up what you believe in, which I actually do admire that about you, and alienating people who don't believe in it. And I don't want to ever do that. And that's why I was kind of tiptoeing. But I didn't want to close the door on it forever. I hope you don't think that like I'm not open to discourse because I am.
No.
And I'm very interested in politics.
But I had to ask my followers questions because I was shocked that they actually wrote those. I was like, really? I was like, because I don't feel like you give off those vibes. So it was a little surprising to me. And I'm just going to be very clear. I have a lot of Trump followers, like a lot. And people, like my own cousin thought that like I voted for Trump, and it's like, and I'm very honest, like I voted for Kamala and I fucking hate them both. Okay, it was like Sophie's choice.
It was the lesser of two evils.
It was right. It was who to vote for, but I had a gay kid, and there was no way that I was going to vote for someone who maybe would think about taking away his rights. Right. So it came down to that for me. It came down to nothing else.
I love when people have different views. My sister was just the one that just texted me about staying with me as a Trump supporter. Right. So whatever. I don't hate people who love Trump, but I do not hate. But I don't tolerate any sort of bigotry, racism, anything like that.
Okay.
So
and then I have like a juicy question that is for me that you were going to like.
Okay, good.
So, which I said that I would be naming names because they asked me, "Are you going to be naming names?" And I said, "Yes." On the season finale, I will be naming names.
This is so exciting! Thank you, follower.
So she said, "I don't know if it's sent, but asking again, please give us the details on who ruined Suze's bachelorette party, my daughter's bachelorette party." So, I'm going to give you a very brief synopsis of this. My daughter got married, I don't know, 5 years ago. I don't even know how long she's been married, 4 or 5 years, whatever it was. So there was a girl from 90 Day Fiancé who we befriended. Did you ever watch 90 Day Fiancé?
Yes.
Okay. So her name was Lauren. Okay. And she was married to a guy named Alexa or whatever.
I know
to an Israeli guy.
I know.
And I used to send them bags and this and that. And we got very friendly, like to the point, like, during COVID, when we were sheltering at the Boca Beach Club, like we would go out for lunch with them and they would come over and hang out with us and blah, 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 blah. And she and my daughter got to be like very, very close. And close enough that my daughter asked her to be in her wedding party. She had 22 bridesmaids, so it wasn't that big of an honor. But I'm just saying. And so, her son was going to be like a ring bearer, like the whole thing. And she came to my daughter's, we threw Courtney's bachelorette party in LA. She came out to LA and she fucking like ransacked, and shout out Brooke. I know my daughter's friend texted me last night and said, please tell everyone how fun I was at the bachelorette. I was like,
Brooke was amazing.
Brooke was amazing. So, but I'm just telling you, Brooke and Shelby, you guys were amazing. She came to the bachelorette party and she didn't like the way something was being done. I can't even remember, honestly. And she literally left in the middle of it. Never spoke to us again. Didn't come to the wedding. Didn't acknowledge anything. She knew Courtney had a baby. You know, my first grandchild needed open heart surgery. Never did anything. And trust me, I could take this chick down in 2 minutes because I have like pictures of her that I could sell to the tabloids of her, you know, naked, this, that, you know what I mean? I'm just not that person. So I'm just telling you right now that
Wow,
like
that's
she hurt my kid. And that's more the point of it. Like, I don't give a fuck about her. She slept in my room in the Peninsula with me the night before the bachelorette party because she had nowhere to be because my kids were all together and they weren't out there yet. So Lauren came and slept with me and Stu in a room. Like, we were like family. And she literally turned her back. She hated her mother. We went to lunch with her mother and her sister in Florida and this and that. And, you know, like, we were like family. And, you know, I called her out on something. She didn't like it. And that was like the beginning of the end. And you know what? Like, when you were talking about like reality stars,
I was going to say,
egos,
you think that's what it was?
Yeah.
Oh.
And I'm like,
she had fans.
She had fans and whatever. And I was just like, you know what? I've never told my followers. I've never, you know, they all kind of knew, obviously, because they knew she used to come on and help us sell our bags and stuff like that. We would do like FaceTimes with her. So whatever. I'm taking up a lot of time with it, but okay, guys, you got the goods. I promised I'd answer that question. It's a good story. And, you know, I don't have a lot of reality TV.
I think reality TV really shows who are the good people and who are not the good people. And I feel like that's probably what happened is eventually you found out she really wasn't that great of a person.
She really wasn't. And I thought she, honestly, I mean, she called us from the hospital when her second kid was born. Like, we helped her.
That's how close you were.
She flew up to my house and surprised my daughter for her bridal shower. You know what I mean? Like, you know, I took her to the Brownstone Pancake Factory.
She's still with Alexi? Yes.
Yeah, she is. And she has a great marriage and she has 3 beautiful kids. And it was probably a misunderstanding, but the way she axed my kid and myself out of her, like, it was so dysfunctional that no wonder she didn't like her mother and her sister or whatever. Now I think she does, but at the time she didn't. But like, I don't go for people like that. Like, that's toxic to me.
It's such a special event that your daughter will always remember, like, to ruin it and make that about you. Like, that takes a big piece of crap.
So Lauren,
person.
if you're listening, sorry, but you know what? Like, you really hurt my kid, and anybody who hurts my kid, I'm coming for you. Not like in a bad way. I'm just saying, like, I'm not gonna withhold anymore just to protect you.
Well, I had a question from one of my followers on my AMA this week that I didn't answer because I just didn't. Sometimes I don't like to put things in writing,
right? But
I'm like, I'll say it now. But it was similar. I was somebody had mentioned, "Oh, are you a ghostwriter?" And I said, "Yeah, I ghost wrote."
Oh, I saw that question.
Amber Portwood's memoir, and a lot of my followers who are new or newish didn't know that, and because that was I did that during the pandemic, so it's already been 5 years since I published that book. So I worked with Amber, who was on Teen Mom. One of the original Teen Mom.
I loved Teen Mom.
Yeah.
Loved.
For
Macy,
a year on
Amber,
this book,
Kate. I like them. You know,
we talked like every night for like a very long time to get this book out, and it was. I think I did mention it earlier in this podcast. Was how the lawyer came in and just cut the book, like cut it, like literally took 80% of the book out. Was like, nope, you can't talk about this, you can't talk about that, you can't talk about that. So the book is not good. So don't buy it. But I wouldn't make any money anyway. But the point is, someone was just chatting with me about her. 2 people were just asking me about her the other day when I said, if anyone has questions, they're like, could you talk a little bit about your experience? I'm not going to go into it either. I actually love Amber, but I know why people don't like her. I know what her problems are. I know so much about this girl. I think that she is, unlike that girl Lauren, not a bad person, but she has a lot of problems and is a very difficult person to.
Well, her, you know, it's so funny because Lauren comes across very much as perfect.
Right.
And
Amber
you know what?
not.
Amber did not. She was very messy and very sloppy.
I think Amber gets a really bad rap because I do think that she is the most generous person I've ever met in my life. She will give you the shirt off her back. She will, like, money means nothing to her. It's a problem. All of her boyfriends have stolen from her. When I last talked to her,
you can kind of tell that.
What?
I think you can kind of tell that.
She's very generous. She gets taken advantage of by everybody. She is surrounded by people who are sycophants who are just taking from her and telling her what she wants to hear because she doesn't want anyone else around her. I think real grounded Bravo Lebs and celebrity reality stars are the ones that have people around them that will be like, you're full of shit. Like Lisa Rinna, who everyone hates, she actually can take you telling her she's fucking up. And I think that really, like, makes Lisa less of a villain than everyone thinks she is.
Right.
Amber cannot. So she can't have people around her that are telling her like you're doing the wrong thing when it comes to your kids or drugs or whatever. So that's a problem with her. I had to set boundaries with her. I got really close with her because she doesn't have anybody. So I got really close with her. She was calling me constantly when she lost custody.
And what about that Gary, like her husband, turned out to be like a great father and, has other kids.
When they were together.
No, he was abusive.
But they were very young.
But, they were both like young and abusive and drugs and whatever. But he turned his life around.
He did. He married the right person. His wife is great. Amber loves the wife, and they're both really nice to Amber as much as you can be. You just can't get close to that girl because she's got so much layers of defense mechanism set up for herself that it is like impossible to penetrate. You just can't be. You can't say, "Hey, Amber, you should probably leave your house once in a while. You should probably touch some grass once in a while and not give all of your money to Korean boy bands like online. Like that's what she does. Like these like these like Korean boy banders have like you can pay them money to like talk to them, and she will give thousands of dollars.
Like a cameo?
No, kind of, but like you can pay them to chat.
Right. And oh my God, that is hilarious.
It's like OnlyFans, but it's just kind of like how it works over there. And so they take money from American girls and pretend they're your boyfriend. Like, so she's got all these like Korean boy band boyfriends, quote unquote, which she gives thousands of dollars to. I mean, this is what she does. Like, but there's nobody around her to say like, hey, like that's your hard-earned money. Like, why are you giving it to these kids that, by the way, they might not even be who they say they are. You don't know them.
Right. Somebody's playing her. For
right.
Sure.
It could be catfishing you.
God. Wow.
So she's got so many problems that I had to step back. I still like her, and I still will talk to her sometimes. And we didn't have.
Well, I don't speak to Lauren.
We didn't have a falling out.
And my daughter, it's like it never happened. My daughter has the ability just to like get people out of, her life, and she's just not interested.
She clips them. I'm not a clipper.
Yeah, okay. Are you going to name names of people you have lost? I think they're talking about like friendships and stuff like that. And someone else wrote.
We still don't want to, right? I name names.
And someone wrote, after 30 years of losing a best friend, what if never an argument, but they just walked? And I said, I fucking love these questions. We will answer it tomorrow. Yeah. So that was yesterday. So
after 30 years, yeah, it's tough. But it happens.
It's tough. You know what? We've all had it happen. And I've had friends, you know what? I'm not naming names. My friend, you know what? I'm sure the people who hate you listen more than the people who like you. And I'm sure they're all listening is all I'm going to say. And I'm not going to give them 1 ounce of respect and name their names. The people who did me wrong, they know they did me wrong. Right. And you know what? I wasn't perfect. I did some people wrong too. But the difference is between me and the women that I've lost in my life. Like, I like to come back to it and clean it up and like take accountability for my side of the street. And I have a couple of friends who just never did that. You know what I mean? And I have one now who's like a friend of me because we're kind of friends again. And then I have one that like if I never saw her again, I would be so, so, so happy. But I have to see her because we have a lot of mutual friends. And you know what? She makes my skin crawl. And I can't even believe that I was ever friends with her. It's that kind of thing.
I just think also, like we've talked about before, you don't need friends as much now in your life. So even if they did talk to you all the time, what would you be doing with them? Going to dinner? Like, I mean, if you don't enjoy their company, it was probably for the best.
Yeah. And I'm at a point now too, like, I'm not chasing people. You want to be my friend? That's great. I would love to hang out with you. I'll talk to anybody, like pretty much.
The strays.
That's right. I love strays, right? You know what I mean? And it's like, but like, I'm a stray, but I also like now, I want quality over quantity. Right. I don't want like a whole girl gang, and I don't need to vacation with 7 women.
Right. You don't need bridesmaids anymore.
Right. I don't need bridesmaids anymore. It's so funny because one of my bridesmaids messaged me on Facebook last night, and like we haven't talked in years.
Out of nowhere? Oh,
out of nowhere.
I love that.
And she just wanted to know like what I was. She lives in Indianapolis, because I went to Indiana, so we were sorority sisters at IU, and she was like, tell me everything about your grandkids and this and that. And she was telling me about, her sister died of cancer and that she's a hospice nurse. She's a hospice worker.
Oh, wow.
And she goes, and she loves it. And I'm like, well, really? That doesn't sound so fun to me. I was like, I said, that kind of terrifies me. But she said, they help my parents and they help my sister transition. And I love helping people transition and being a hospice worker. And I guess that's who becomes a hospice worker, right?
What made her reach out to you?
I don't know. She just reached out to me out of the blue.
I love that. I wish that would happen to me more often.
So I wrote her back like the whole thing about like where I am and how, you and I started this podcast and how, what my grandkids, because it's so funny. Like I have grandchildren. I don't have a grandchild anymore. I have grandchildren.
Right,
It makes me sound really fucking old. So it's like, I just, because my mother and father, remember, my parents died at 48 and 52.
Right.
So my parents never got to see me get married. They never got to see my kids.
Right.
They certainly never got to see their great-grandchildren. Like
right.
Stu's parents see their great-grandchildren. So we FaceTime them every time I'm there or whatever. But it's like, it's so crazy to me that like, how life goes in cycles. So it's nice whenever you hear from someone from your past.
Well, I had told a story on my page a while back about how I dated the kid that was Little Boy Blue in the song Cats in the Cradle.
Oh, yeah.
Josh. And just like out of the blue a week ago, and I told the story years ago, and also I don't have any stories saved on the highlights anymore. This is one of the reasons I don't save my stories on the highlights anymore is that what if someone pops up and then they read a story about themselves and then they don't like it? So I took all my stories out, but that was one of the stories that people always request when I say like when they want to read a story of mine, like, oh, will you send me that one? And all of a sudden, he followed me on Instagram on my Your Moms Are Watching page. This is last week. Out of the blue, I said, that name sounds familiar because it's not his full name, but
Is he his son?
What?
Little Boy Blue and the Man on the Moon.
So
it's his
Harry
son?
Chapin's son, Josh Chapin is
Right.
his name.
Harry Chapin died in a car crash, right?
Correct.
Okay.
And he wrote this song about his son.
Eric, do you know who Harry Chapin is? No, it's called The Cats in the Cradle.
I know the song. I just
Right.
didn't
Okay.
know
Harry
that.
Chapin sang it.
So he wrote this song for his son, and I dated his son. And I've kept in touch with him over the years. I haven't talked to him in a while, but he definitely didn't follow my Your Moms Are Watching page. And as far as I know, he followed me. So I see that he followed me, which I was like, what? And then I look on the page, and he hasn't made a post on that page in like 6 years. So he's following me from an Instagram account that he hasn't used in 6 years, which is bizarre, right? And he didn't message me. I'm like, hi, hello, you're going to follow me out of the blue. And then
Did he write back?
No, I didn't write him.
Oh, you should write him.
I know. I'm like, what is happening? I don't know what that was all about. And I wonder if
I linked in with my ex-boyfriend on LinkedIn last night. I was talking to his sister on Facebook. He's from Chicago. And I was like, you know what? I'm just going to reach out to him. And I'm like, hi, David. Hope you're doing well. I see you on LinkedIn, XO Patty. And then he accepted my LinkedIn invitation.
I guess I should say hi, but
yeah, why wouldn't you?
I'm just wondering what it is all about. I'm wondering, do people not know that you can see that maybe he's following me, but he doesn't know that I saw that he's following me? Like, do they see that it's announced right on your page right away when they do it so that maybe he thinks I'm just one of 60,000 followers and she won't even notice and I'm just lurking, which is fine.
Is your account exploding from this? Because mine is.
Exploding from this? No.
Yeah. No, you're not getting a lot of new followers. I'm getting so many new followers. It's crazy.
Oh, from my page, probably. No, I got, at the very beginning,
you're getting a lot of mine. Yeah.
I got a bunch, yeah. I just think they're already following me. So you're getting them each time probably I post a reel.
Yours are a little choosier. They're like, they have to like make sure I'm okay before they follow me.
You talk so much on your page about yourself, and so people follow you for you.
Right.
I talk a lot about Bravo and crap. So
right.
If you were like during the medley, like whatever, you know what I mean? Like I just don't know if they're as interested as you are in getting to know someone who's not a celebrity, which I'm not proud of that, but that's what I bring to the table, unfortunately. Like I know some celebrities, or I used to work for celebrities, and so that might be why. I don't know. But a lot of them probably are following you at this point because every time I post a reel, they probably go and follow you.
Right.
But I thought at the very beginning,
You need to post a reel in this dress later. Don't take this off, and you need to do a little story in this dress.
I was going to do a story for Robin's book, so you think I should wear this? Or
Love. Oh, my God, love.
This for her book? I was going to do a little,
Eric, what do you think?
A post.
I think you're ending on such a high note. Yeah. 2 thumbs
I feel
up.
overdressed.
See, and he's a married man with kids. So there you go.
You have kids?
No kids.
I thought you have one kid.
No kids.
You don't have a kid?
No, not yet.
I thought you had a baby.
No, ma'am. Julian does.
Oh, Julian has a baby.
Does, yeah.
Do we have a meeting after this, by the way?
Yes.
Okay.
So yes, my followers definitely have migrated over to you, and I'm sure it's just we're different. But I have been trying more lately to share more personal stories and share more of myself to my followers. I used to do it way more, and then when I started getting dragged, I was like, you know what? Why am I sharing myself with you people if half of you are going to drag me? So I stopped for a long time, but I'm back to it.
I saw you on Reddit again.
What?
I saw that's my nightly ritual, by the way, is
Oh,
to go
God.
onto Reddit to see if
I
Thea
love
is
how
in Reddit.
I love how they have to go back to something that happened
They
5 years ago.
They go back to like this stupid like stuff I don't even know,
Literally
and I'm like,
5 years ago.
what are they talking
because
about?
they're looking for crap. And the one person that said, "Oh, she blocked me," like, yes, I blocked you when you asked me if I'm going to get sued
And it's so
for all
funny
the
because
stuff I
you
make
told
up.
me you blocked someone.
I know, I'm like, and I have 4 people blocked right now, 4, and she's one of them.
Oh my God, I have hundreds. I
Because
have
I was
hundreds
like,
of
how
people
is
blocked.
I had 500 at one point, but I unblocked everyone. I was like, you know what? I can take criticism. But I thought that was a very rude way to word the question. She said, have you ever been sued for making up or posting all the false stuff you post? That's a very rude comment. And
That's pretty
I immediately
disgusting.
blocked
I
her.
would block that too.
I was almost in it because I replied to her and I even put the post up to reply to it to say like,
What's her name? Who are you? I'm
are you-
coming for you.
When I responded to her, I was responding this. I said, "Are you talking about the gossip that I post that sometimes turns out not to be true? Like obviously,
Like it's gossip.
right?" But I realized no, this is an actual hater, and I'm glad I was right because obviously she's on the snark page. If you're on the snark page, you're a hater. So I'm glad I blocked them. But that was so funny. I know they get bored on there and they're like, who can we make fun of? And I'm such an easy target. I'm such an easy target.
Oh my God, it's so Eric. Are you on? You're not on Reddit at all. We talked about this, but I'm
sports Reddit.
I'm just telling you that if you go on Bravo,
No, don't
what is it?
shout
It's
it
blogger snark. What is it?
Don't
Bravo
shout it
blogger
out.
snark.
Please don't give them.
No.
please.
It's just
I'm serious.
No. Okay, but I'm
Please.
just telling you.
There's
it's
a Reddit
all
snark page.
bullshit. It's just funny to read because you're not what they say, and it's just so funny. It's like
this is what my
and by
husband-
the way, like. Who the fuck are these people that have time to waste like that? They're wasting their time
And why are
talking
you
about
still
you.
following me
Right,
if
like
you hate me?
Right, like, but why? Like, why is what I want to know.
This is what my husband always says to me when I bring them up because once in a while I'll be like, "Oh my God," and he'll say, "Why are you still looking?" A, he's right, and B, it's 8 people. Like it's the same 8
It's the
people.
same people.
Same 8 people. So 8 people hate you. You have $60,000. 8 of them don't like you. Like what? What do you care? It's always the same people that come in and say, "Oh, I can't stand her." Oh, really? Because you have 45 times you've said that now on Blogger Snark. So I don't care. But I do look because I like the constructive criticism. I like to see when I'm pointed out when I'm doing something really wrong. I'm not kidding. I really like. Sometimes they get it right, and I'm like, I
don't think so.
The person who moderates it, Capital Hamster, I really respect her opinion. And when
Capital
she says,
Hamster.
when she says something bad about me, I literally take it to heart. I'm like, wait, because I feel like she's right
Is she
about
the
me.
moderator of the group?
Yeah. So I feel like she's right about me 90% of the time. And so when she says something, I do actually listen because I'm like, she's pretty fair. And she points out when I'm being ridiculous.
Okay, Capital Hamster, I just want to tell you that I go in
love
there.
you.
Okay, I go in there all the time and I downvote everything that you say bad about Thea. I literally do the thumbs down. I put, you know what I mean? Like I dislike it.
She probably thinks it's me doing that.
No,
It's
it's
not
me. It's me. So be clear that
I
it's
think
me.
once in a while I go too far. A lot of times I do name drop too much. I talk too much about myself. So this was going to circle back to what we were talking about is in this podcast, now that we're wrapping it up, what do you think we can work on or have your followers given you input that you feel like we could use if we decide to do a season 2? What is something you've noticed that you wish we were doing better?
Is it an if or when?
Oh, when? I don't know.
Okay.
We said we were going to look and see how this does.
Right.
Before
Okay.
we invest more.
I just wanted to know. Okay. Because that was one of my questions. You know, are you
Are you
doing a
gonna
season
do-
2? Yeah. When is
It's
season 2
TBD
coming?
because we have to see if this takes
Right.
off.
Well, hopefully this takes off, you guys, and you'll listen and you'll give us good reviews or even bad reviews. Any review is a good review for us.
So have you gotten any negative? I've gotten negative. You haven't?
No.
It won't hurt my feelings.
I mean, honestly, no. You know, people have said that you talk too much, I talk too little. You know, I talk too much, you talk too little. You know, like it goes all over the fucking map. You know, it's like I think my followers are sometimes, well, why don't you talk about like what you're passionate, you know,
Right.
like about
What you talk
you know, like
about on your page.
about anti-Semitism, which we did today, you know, which we usually don't. And you know what? I don't want to talk about it all the time here because
Right.
to me this is an escape
Right.
from like what I do talk about all the time. And I want to have some content for there and some content for here.
That's a good
you know?
point.
So
You don't
it's
want to
like,
repeat yourself.
yeah,
and
I don't
say-
want to I don't
right.
want to be redundant. And it's like, you know what? Like I will always be true to who I am, but I'm never going to do something because my followers want me to. You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
you know, like that, you know, they're not going to listen. If they don't want to listen, they don't have to listen. But you're always going to get the real me, no matter if
Right.
it's there or here. What about you?
Yeah, no, mostly positive, but I wonder if people would come into my DMs and say something negative. if you're worried I'm going to block you, I only have 4 people blocked. So I have not gotten very much negative.
I will block you.
A couple of people say that you interrupt me, which I think is hilarious because I feel like it's the opposite, but whatever. Again, they're looking at it like they just want to hear me talk.
Right.
So, of course, they're going to say that because I don't.
And I interrupt everyone, and I own that. I'm an interrupter.
Right.
I
have not noticed it.
I'm sorry if I
me.
do. I'm going to own it, but I really do like to interrupt.
But our manager did say to me, you need to give Patricia more airtime. So it wasn't just my followers
and
or
you
your
did.
followers. So I'm making concerted effort to give you more because I am a talker and I do have stories, which is like not all that what this podcast is about.
But that's the whole juxtaposition here is because I find your story so interesting that I just go, what?
I write them though on my page. I write them out.
I told you I screenshotted them.
And I'm a good writer.
See, I interrupted again.
Did you read the one about Anthony Bourdain?
I screenshotted it and then I sent it to my family. I was like, I said I had it like it was literally like 10 pages, and I was like, when Thea writes on her page, it's like this big. And,
okay, the reason I
have my readers here. So even with my readers, I have to, you keep your finger on it so it doesn't move. So I'm just like, I'm just going to screenshot it. Do you get messages when someone screenshots? No, because I don't.
No, I don't. But I will tell you from day one, from when I started telling stories on there, we used to joke about it all the time. Font gate, they call it, because everyone has a different opinion of what font and what size and what color I should be using. So I always am like, But I will say I don't feel comfortable putting 100 slides. So let's say the Anthony Bourdain story was like 10 pages.
It was like 10 pages.
Right. But
I literally just deleted it last night.
But if I didn't use the tiny font, it would be 100 pages.
Right.
And that I feel like is ridiculous.
I know, but it's just like I had to screenshot it to really read it.
Everyone does that.
Steve and Anthony, and I'm like, okay, what's happening with Steve and Anthony? Where are we going now? What's going? And I was like, the ultimate is that he committed suicide. I mean, he was like a very unhappy guy.
Right.
So it's like, and all the drugs, and it was like Thea has a very fascinating, interesting past, and I think that's what makes this good.
Well, I think both of us have very colored past, and I think that if we do a second season, now that I feel like we've really gotten a lot of the base information about us out,
right,
we can really delve in each episode if we do continue having guests, having kind of subjects that are away from talking about ourselves and our lives, which I would prefer in some days. Some days I'm tired of talking about myself.
I totally agree.
So it's like, let's talk about what's happening in wherever. If it's Israel, if it's politics, or if it's on TV, or if it's a fun book we
read.
Exactly. We can do a book club where once a month we talk about a book, whatever it is. So I feel like we could branch out.
We can get the author.
What?
We get the author to come on too.
Right, that's true. I do know a lot of published authors somehow. I don't know how that happened in my life.
Because you are. So there you go.
All right. Well, we did it. 12 episodes.
I'm very proud of us. Eric, thank you for hanging with us the whole time, except for one episode when you didn't show up.
We have put a body of work out there into the world that's not AI. That's just us.
That's just us. And you guys, this is real. This is who we are. 100%. And this is 100% like what we do and who we are. We're not misrepresenting anything.
You're right. Well, now you know us. So first season was us. Next season, we might go off to other subjects.
Exactly. So stay tuned.
Stay tuned. All right. Thanks, guys. Bye.
Bye.